Jessica Dismorr was born in Gravesend, Kent, on 3rd March 1885. She was christened Jessie, but adopted the form Jessica as her name after the First World War, and it is as Jessica Dismorr that she is most widely known today. She came from a wealthy family and had control over her own money and her own life, so felt no pressure to marry or to find paid work outside the pursuit of art. She had the freedom to travel and to paint, and was able to give financial support to artistic causes she cared about. Dismorr studied for a short time at the Slade School of Art in London and also in France. The modern trends in French painting to which she was exposed, particularly Fauvism, exerted a lasting influence on her work. The impact of the Fauves can be seen particularly strongly in the vibrant colours and aggressively simplified forms of her landscapes from the pre-Great War years. But, although she was associated with the artists known as the British Fauves, notably the Scottish painter J.D. Fergusson, her work remained distinctive in the vigour of its colouring and its intense expressive energy. Her forms have a more sculptural quality that sets them apart from the flatter forms typical of Fauvism. Jessica Dismorr was very much part of the British artistic avant-garde, and was a participant in almost every significant avant-garde grouping in British art in the years around the First World War. With her close friend Helen Saunders, she became involved in the Rebel Art Centre, set up by Percy Wyndham Lewis in London in the spring of 1914, and subsequently took an important role in the Vorticist movement. She and Saunders were both signatories of the Vorticist Manifesto, published in Blast in June 1914. Despite this, the contribution of these two women artists to Vorticism has become marginalized and erased. Dismorr and Saunders are openly presented as marginal figures in William Roberts' retrospective celebration of the central figures of Vortism, shoved into the top left corner, literally arriving late to the party, whereas both were in fact founders of the Vorticist movement. Roberts reduces them to subsidiary roles, Saunders fetching and carrying, and Dismorr paying the bills. The independently wealthy Dismorr was important to the funding and organisation of the Vorticist movement. Wyndham Lewis was incapable of dealing with such practicalities, but she was also a very active contributor to both the literary and visual aspects of Vorticism. She contributed poetry, prose, and illustrations to the pages of Blast, and showed 4 artworks at the only Vorticist exhibition, which took place at the Doré Gallery in London in June 1915. Probably her most significant surviving Vorticist painting is Abstract Composition from 1915, a complex assemblage of 3-dimensional elements reminiscent of architectural forms in a dark spatial void, arranged so that they intersect each other and create a sense of dynamism and movement. During the First World War, Dismorr served in France as a nurse and a humanitarian relief worker. Her mental health was fragile throughout her life, and immediately following the end of the war she suffered a mental breakdown, probably connected with her wartime experiences, which prevented her from working until 1920. In the spring of that year she contributed works to the Group X exhibition in London, a continuation of the Vorticist project. During the 1920s, Dismorr travelled extensively, spending time and painting in various locations in England and France. She continued to take part in avant-garde groupings and to contribute both illustrations and writings to various, often short-lived, artistic journals, and also painted many landscapes, in which Cubist influence is often evident. In 1925, the only solo exhibition devoted to Dismorr's work in her lifetime was held at the avant-garde Mayor Gallery in London, an event which confirmed her status within the most advanced tendencies in British art and won some positive reviews in the general press, including the Sunday Times, which wrote that the exhibition should be seen by all interested in the modern movement, and described Dismorr's work as genuinely significant in form, and significant in expression. She also turned to figurative art and portraiture, including some of her most absorbing and touching self-portraits. Her work from this period combines solidity of form, reflecting her interest in contemporary sculpture, with delicacy of colour, creating the impression of a kind of weighty fragility. The same characteristics are evident in her still life pictures, which, in their flattening out of forms, use of flat areas of colour, and breaking down of representational conventions, indicate Dismorr's increasing interest in abstraction. Pure abstraction was to dominate the final years of her life. During the 1930s, Dismorr became associated with more radical movements in British art, both artistically and politically, through connections with figures such as Barbara Hepworth, Henry Moore, and Ben Nicholson, and groupings such as the Artists' International Association, which favoured abstraction for its freedom from the baggage of the past and its radicalism and internationalism. The first wholly abstract exhibition to be held in Britain, the Unit 1 exhibition of 1934, had a particularly strong impact on Dismorr's work, directly inspiring her to abandon figurative art and commit to abstraction. She became one of British art's groundbreaking abstract artists, creating a series of works which explored arrangements of form in which there is no longer any representational content, nor any attempt to convey ideas of depth or space within the picture plane. The forms are hard-edged, clear in outline, and fill most of the painting's surface. They do not depict anything, but they do evoke associations within the viewer's mind with human or organic forms, such as heads, torsos, or the trunks of trees. Sadly, Jessica Dismorr had all too little time to explore the possibilities of the new abstraction she was pioneering. In the summer of 1939, she fell into a spiral of deepening depression, which ended with her death by her own hand on 19th August 1939.